Welcome to Manufacturing Day. Welcome to Manufacturing Day.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Good morning. Welcome to Manufacturing Day 2020. My name is Tracy Jenkins. I am the Corporate Relations Representative for Brewer Science. I had the pleasure of meeting all of these manufacturers, talking to them, getting to know what products they're making, learning about their facilities. It's been a true pleasure to learn. I hope that you gain as much insight to the careers and the skills that are available to us right outside our back door. Enjoy and ask questions.
Good morning. My name is Brendan Cossette, and I am Chief Operating Officer of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Jefferson City and former Raleigh Bulldog. And I'd like to welcome you today to the first virtual Manufacturing Day, Manufacturing Day 2020. It's not been easy to put together, but we are very thankful for Brewer Science, Royal Canin, Quaker, Hartman, Cohen, Cost Effective Equipment, and Missouri Enterprise for helping to put this all together. And it's really important that we get together to celebrate manufacturing and the industry, even when we can't be together in person. I'm sure some of you, and a lot of people in general, think of manufacturing as dirty and dangerous work in some dark factory far away in the middle of nowhere. That may have been the case a long time ago, but it's really not now. Now manufacturing is pretty high tech, high speed, often high paying, and really cool. I'm sure you'll get to see that today. As a Raleigh native, I know how much those companies that I just mentioned and others are, how important they are to the local economy. But manufacturing is also incredibly important to the state and to the country as a whole. Our state's economy has 270,000 manufacturing jobs, and manufacturing consists of about $40 billion worth of the state's economy. And that's not going to end anytime soon. Estimates are that 4.6 million manufacturing jobs will be created in the country for the next 10 years, which is when you all will be hitting the workforce. And these jobs pay an average of $15,000 more than non-manufacturing jobs. In fact, in Missouri, the average for pay and benefits of a manufacturing job is $60,000, which isn't bad at all. Think about what you do with $60,000. Those aren't just stats. What they portray is real. Part of what I do and what we do at the Missouri Chamber is go and meet with employers and manufacturers throughout the state and ask them, what can we do to help you grow your business, to excel, do better? And what we hear over and over and over is, Brendan, I have the jobs, I just don't have the people for them. In fact, there's a recent survey that showed 80% of manufacturers thought that there was a serious or moderate shortage of qualified workers for the company. And this hasn't disappeared because of the disruption due to COVID-19. In fact, our manufacturers, many of them quickly transitioned from making what they were making to producing protective equipment for healthcare workers and frontline employees. And that's not going to slow down either, because I'm fairly certain that when a vaccine comes, hopefully soon, that a lot of it will be produced here in Missouri. So our manufacturers are also continuing to help keep Missouri safe. So if you were like I was when I was your age, and probably 92% of everybody else your age, by the way, I made that up. That stat is probably true, but I don't really know. The other stats, I promise, really are true. But anyway, if you're like most people your age and are like, I don't know, graduation's coming soon, I don't know what I'm going to do, what should I do, what career path should I take, I would encourage you to take a long, hard look at manufacturing. I hope what you see today helps to inspire you to pursue a career in this growing, high-tech, and good-paying industry. So thank you for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day.
Our moderator today is Rick Prue of Missouri Enterprise. Rick is an area business manager for the central and southern portions of Missouri. He holds a black belt certification in innovation engineering. Rick works closely with Missouri manufacturers to find solutions for the challenges that they face. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Tracy. Yes, Missouri Enterprise, we are actually the largest manufacturing consultant in the state of Missouri. We work with the federal government's Manufacturing Extension Partnership Network, which is the largest manufacturing consulting network in the United States. And we also work with the state of Missouri as one of the innovation centers that specialize in manufacturing. So we're grateful for all those partnerships, but what we're most grateful for is the chance to work with manufacturers. So we're going to have a Q&A session here. And what I'd like to invite everyone to do is, if you have a question, just type it in the Q&A part, in the chat part, and we'll get to those questions as we can. We have a little bit of time here to do all of this. So please don't be embarrassed to type those in there. Also, as we have questions, I will direct those to various panelists. And so our panelists today, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves, are Tom Brown, Russ Pagel, Sasha Stratman, Gavin Keeber, Alan Redburn, and Jeff Heisler, and I'll let them say more about themselves. So let's get this rolling. So I'm waiting to see if there aren't any questions on the chat, but let's go ahead and get everybody introduced. So, Tom, why don't you start?
Thanks a lot, Rick. Glad to be here. Been doing the manufacturing day for a while now, but again, having it be done virtual is a little bit of a challenge, but actually shows what a company's been able to do. I'm the executive director in operations that's responsible for manufacturing, quality, logistics activities. As a company, we manufacture chemicals that are used in the semiconductor industry. So those are things that are going to go help make computer chips, anything that you're finding in maybe in your phone or on the computer that we're using, maybe it's in some of the digital cameras. A lot of our materials are used to help process it. Unlike some of the other manufacturers that actually are producing something that's going to stay and move to a consumer, our products actually are just using the process and then removed from it. So you don't really find our material inside one of these little devices. But what you do is you find them in the manufacturing realm at the other manufacturers that are producing those chips. We also do some of the packaging, and printed electronics is a new area that we're in. With all this big data that we're seeing now, especially in the midst of the COVID, with all this virtual activity, you're seeing a lot of products and the need for data and for information to be processed. So that's really why we've seen a pretty good trend in that. I started out in the company as a salesperson, as a part-time employee, and had a lot of jobs. And the reason I bring that up is just to highlight the fact that manufacturing is not simply about producing a product. It's all of the support that goes into produce that product. So there's a lot of jobs and positions and activities that are part of the manufacturing process. So with that, hey, Rick, thanks for having me today.
Well, thank you, Tom. And I'm going to throw it over to Russ Pagel, which is a great segue, because Russ is actually, his successful company is a kind of a spinoff, actually, out of Brewer Science. And Russ, why don't you tell us about what you guys do?
Yeah, that's right, Rick. I'm the president of Cost Effective Equipment here in Rolla, and we actually used to be a part of Brewer Science. And what we do is we manufacture machinery that's used in the same semiconductor industry that Tom Brown and Tracy and Brewer Science are in also. So what we do, this is a silicon wafer, and this is where computer chips come from. Is from this piece of silicon. This isn't silicone, it's silicon. This is right off the periodic table, and this is a single crystal of that element. And so what they do in the computer chip industry is they use these to make individual little devices that are used to make microprocessors, memory, MEMS devices, lasers, cameras, all sorts of things. And so what we do is we manufacture the tooling that they use to manufacture those devices. And one of the things that's really neat about it, and I know that Tom sees this too, is when you see something in a store and you know that, hey, that was built using our products. Tom mentioned the iPhone. I can tell you that every iPhone on the planet has a particular chip in it that's made using our machinery that we make right here in Rolla, Missouri. And I know the same is true for the chemicals that they do over there at Brewer Science. The direct digital satellite systems that are up in orbit right now that are able to broadcast down to these small dishes that are only a foot and a half wide. Those have chips in them that were made using both Brewer Science chemicals and also cost-effective equipment's machinery. I just want to touch on a little bit of something that Tom said. Manufacturing is not just building the tools. I just want to amplify that. Manufacturing is the people who plan the purchasing for those parts, people who manage those parts and make sure that we have them, that we have enough of them, and that we have them located in the correct places, and that their quality is checked before they go on the shelf ready to be used. Manufacturing is actually also supporting those products after they're out there out in the world. So it's not just people who work with their hands per se, but a lot of it is people who work with their minds to make these products, get them together, and get them into the customer's hands. And it's a really exciting business to be in. And just one other thing I would say about it is I know that the COVID-19 virus has just ravaged a lot of industries. Not this one. We're actually very busy right now, and not every industry is affected the same way. And as a manufacturer, I have to say we are really blessed that our industry has kept going very strong, and we're actually growing through the middle of this. And it's because there is a need for manufactured products. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
Well, thanks, Russ. We're going to go next over to Royal Canin. It's a pet food manufacturer in Rolla. Been here a long time. We're very fortunate to have them. And you talked a little bit about high tech. I actually went out there to visit Sasha the other day, and that's the only plant of all the ones I've been in lately because of COVID. I actually got thermo scanned. But I was running cool that day, so Sasha was able to come out and talk to me. So I'm going to kick this over to Sasha first, and then we'll go to Gavin after that. So Sasha, take it away.
Okay. My name is Sasha Stratman, and I have been in the site admin and training coordinator role for almost 2 years now in January. I got the pleasure of being at Manufacturing Day in person last year, and that was a lot of fun. So I'm glad to be here again today. We have been working through COVID since day one. So as soon as it came on the news, we put our masks on and we've been working hard. And people are feeding their pets a lot more than usual. So we've been doing pretty good business. So thank you for having me, Rick, and I'll hand it over to Gavin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. First and foremost, thank you to Brewer Science and the group for the invitation to kind of speak to the group today. It's my pleasure. I am the site director for the Rolla, Missouri manufacturing facility for Royal Canin. We actually have 5 sites around North America. We actually make product for everyone's cats and dogs. So as Sasha was talking about, business has been just insane in this specific industry for years. It has not slowed down at all through COVID, which has been nice. As far as my role, I'm ultimately responsible for everything that happens in the property in the Rolla factory. So we've got a lot of different positions, like several folks have said. Manufacturing is not just making something, it's literally bringing the material into the factory. It's converting it from raw material into finished product and then shipping it to our distribution center. So we've got about 110 full-time folks here in this factory, and then about another 40 to 50 contract associates that work with us here. So overall, a pretty small family. And we're ultimately owned by Mars Incorporated, which is about 140,000 people globally. And we are still a private company owned by 2 Mars family members. So very cool company to be a part of. And I started with this business as a shift manager, and never did I think that I'd be leading my own factory 10 years later. So it's been just a phenomenal experience in manufacturing. never did I think when I was packing boxes in a distribution center that I'd be running a factory of my own 10 years later. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Gavin. So we're going to kind of go outside the Rolla area a little bit here with our next one. Alan Redburn is with Owen Architectural Woodworking. Alan, tell us what you guys do out there.
Hey, good morning, Rick. Thanks. While these are challenging times, guys, they're exciting times. When you look at everything that's going on, it's changing, maybe not so much but it's changing a lot of the face of our industry and what manufacturing really is. Like for us, we do commercial cabinets. We do hospitals, medical clinics, restaurants. If you've ever been in Phelps Health or Dover Day Cancer Center, we did all the nurses' stations and cabinets in the rooms as well, and we ship those all over the country. When COVID hit, there was a huge demand for sneeze guards for a lot of restaurants, a lot of facilities, just taking extra precautions, and so we got involved in that. And we're constantly looking to diversify, and we're looking at another model for future growth. But we have about 75 employees here at Cohen currently, about 45 working in the plant. The remainder are office staff. We have estimators. We have project managers. We have engineers. And so, it's more than just banging out cabinets. We do a lot of design. We work with a lot of folks in the health industry, and we help design the products they want. And so the opportunities are endless today in manufacturing. So I would encourage anybody that, wants to get involved. It's a good time, because the times they are changing, and if you're not willing to change, you're not going to make it. But if you're willing to change and diversify and look at other avenues, there's lots of things out there. So I'm just glad to be a part of this group today. Thanks, Rick.
All right, and our last panelist is Jeff Heisler. He's with Quaker Windows, whose headquarters is over in Freeburg, and they just opened another plant location over in and both are fortunately in the territory that I represent. Jeff, tell us a little bit about Quaker and yourself.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick, and happy Manufacturing Day to everybody out there. As you mentioned, I'll start with Quaker and our growth. It's just such an exciting time right now. We're happy. We love it here in Freeburg, and as Rick mentioned, we just recently ventured out to Eldon. Things are going great out there as well. Everything's off to a great start. This growth is really exciting, especially for me. I'm the talent manager here at Quaker, which I love my role. I get to work with our folks every day, whether that's training, development, coaching, you name it. I have a passion for working with our folks to help them be successful, and that in turn helps Quaker be successful. So every day, I love doing what I do here. Manufacturing is just amazing to me, and there's all kinds of good opportunities when it comes to manufacturing. A lot of people think just out on the floor, the folks on the floor, they love doing what they do, but there's just all kinds of stuff. When you look at that whole manufacturing chain, there's all kinds of opportunities there. So things are going great for us. Obviously we make windows and doors, vinyl product, there's wood product, and there's aluminum product. And, I couldn't even think to rattle off all the different products we make. There's all kinds of different windows and doors, but all kinds of markets we play in, and things are going really well for us.
Well, thank you. Just a personal thing that I've noticed is that with all the companies, I've delivered Manufacturing Day banners and some update decals to over 50 companies in my territory, and the number of manufacturers that are hiring right now in the midst of COVID is very surprising. There are job opportunities right now in manufacturing in this area of the state. So thanks a lot, Jeff.
The goal was to be able to provide people in our community with hand sanitizer on a bulk scale so that they could keep their employees, their customers, their patrons safe during this pandemic. My name's Tim Limmer. I'm the Director of Advanced Manufacturing Technology at Brewer Science. The process began just as an idea. My boss, Tom Brown, and I were discussing whether or not providing hand sanitizer would be something we could do as a team. And we decided that we'd like to do it. And interestingly, Patrick Lubert joined my team within days of that discussion. And Patrick emailed me and said, hey, I would love to make hand sanitizer. So all the stars aligned. And I said, sure, gave Patrick the project, and he worked with lots of people across the company to make that happen. So this really has been a Patrick Lubert exercise.
My name is Patrick Lubert, and I'm a senior engineering technician. The manufacturing is right what we do every day, and that's where our expertise lies. However, working from what we do with polymer chemistries and polymer coatings, all the regulations are completely different. And so luckily we have a really, really good team, and just the people in the company in general, everyone's really good. And so we were able to kind of figure out as we went what we needed to do to become successful, and kind of work through all the difficulties with not too many problems. It was a pretty smooth sailing ship, really. From the
Semiconductor chemical industry to hand sanitizer was really not a very difficult move. You know, we've all of our products have multiple components, and they're all blended, and they all go into bottles. So that's exactly the same thing as what we do with the hand sanitizer. So drawing on that expertise, we just had to find a blender, one of our blenders that isn't used very often, that could support the volumes of hand sanitizer we need, make sure it was clean, and then move forward with the process.
The process to make the hand sanitizer is we get a drum of isopropyl alcohol, and ours is 99.9% pure, as pure as you can get. And we pump, the vast majority of our sanitizer is the IPA. So we pump that over into a drum, and then we add hydrogen peroxide that's been at 3%. And that kind of cleans up any imperfections or any bacteria that could be in the drums or in the IPA. Then we add glycerin, which keeps it on your skin a little longer. It's almost like a moisturizer. And then we dilute that down with water to our percent alcohol that we're trying to shoot for. The finished product is bottled into gallon bottles, and we then, once we have usually each batch is about 56 bottles we can create each day or each time we make a batch. And we find whatever our need is then in the community, and our customer support team is really great, and they reach out to the different areas and ask, like, hey, does anyone need this? Say the police department, the highway patrol, all those places. What are your needs? And then we kind of divvy that out as we see fit, as the needs arise.
So the driving factor really was the people, and the people's here at Brewer Science, we really love to give back, and so the people's drive, the employees' drive to help our community move forward when everything was at a standstill due to the pandemic was really the driving factor.
So whenever we were doing the handout with the community, it was really, really cool to see everyone from the ambulances to the highway patrol to the preschool teachers, the nurseries, everybody coming in and being so grateful. And it was really gratifying personally to see that the need was there, and everyone, the need was met, and it was kind of unexpected in the community that somebody like Brewer Science was able to reach out. And it was really a great thing that as a company we were able to reach out to the community and provide this and kind of fill the need.
I think it's important to recognize that, that people like Patrick and Adam and other folks in the company, Becky Rich, they did this just because they wanted to help. And so makes me proud to be part of Brewer Science.
Okay, hope everybody had a chance to think of maybe some questions. Tracy from Brewer Science, you've met her already. She worked hard to contact some people prior to this to make sure that, to see what kind of questions they have. We're going to queue some of those up now. And before we do that, though, I want to thank Brewer for what they did there for the making the hand sanitizer. And that story is repeated all over the state with several manufacturers that revamped some of their processes to make either personal protection equipment or sanitizer and stuff like that. I mean, Missouri manufacturers really answered the call. So, Tracy, can we queue up one of the questions?
What is lean manufacturing?
Okay, straight and to the point. And Tom, I'm going to let you answer this. Tom Brown from Brewer Science.
First of all, I was trying to figure out who it was that asked that question. So it kind of looked familiar. So lean manufacturing is it's an approach to really streamline the manufacturing process, looking at eliminating waste, bringing in continuous improvement activities. It started really back with Toyota when they first started turning out the quality machinery, and they looked at what we'd done in the U.S. and realized that there was a lot of inefficiencies in those processes, and there was ways they could sit there and drive in some quality while eliminating waste. As they found that was really the only way they're going to be able to compete, because early on there was a lot of struggles in the manufacturing process over there. It was inexpensive and it was cheaper, and I think that the trick here is not that you're just eliminating waste or improving your efficiencies or streamlining. You're doing it while, at the minimum, not impacting productivity. But our view at Brewer Science is a lot different. It is you will increase your productivity. You will have more output by being more efficient, and that's just kind of our expectations. We're a high-end company when it comes to the quality. We deal with ion levels that are sub parts per trillion. That's like finding a quarter in the city of Chicago. That's where we're dealing with, and so we have to do all these lean activities to make it manageable for us, but we cannot sacrifice quality at all. And we've done a lot of interesting things with our continuous improvement programs. A lot of that's grassroots. We got a great Waste Watchers program where we look to eliminate waste, and it's driven by our employees, and they present and they're celebrated. Our first virtual one of those, we had 150 people, I think, that was on the virtual call as people were presenting from home, and we sent in 2-second lean videos, which have turned out to be kind of the star of what we do, and it's our employees doing some type of, in some cases, they're skits showing how they leaned up a process, and they found ways to one-up each other, to add music and to add activities and some graphics, and they turn into a real fun event. And what I love about it is it shows the ownership that people have, because honestly, you can mandate a lean practice and say, we will be a lean company. That doesn't seem to be, that definitely doesn't work here at Brewer Science. It's all about the employees buying in and understanding that, hey, there's a better way to do something, and let's look for that. So kind of rambled a little bit on that, but really we're talking about, having a continuous process to streamline the manufacturing process.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Is manufacturing a good area for women?
I don't know if I had a little trouble hearing that question. Just to make sure everybody heard that. This young lady asked, is manufacturing a good area for women? And seeing that we only have one woman on the panel today, and she's probably the most qualified to do that, I'm going to kick that over to Sasha.
I have a background in counseling and psychology. I never saw myself in manufacturing, but I came in and I filled in for a couple of different events for Royal Canin. I did a lot of their just like admin work starting out. And I only planned on being here for a short time. And the more I was here, the more I liked it. I liked the people. I liked the 5 principles that we work by. And I've seen a lot of growth in many people here, including women. In St. Charles, there's a lot of women that work there. So, yes. There's definitely places for women here at Royal Canin.
Thank you, Sasha. Okay, let's go to our next question.
How many employees does your company have?
Okay, well, I'm going to kick this one over to Jeff Heisler over at Quaker, and the reason I'm kicking over to Jeff is they are in a very small town in Freeburg, and I think you're going to be surprised by the answer to that and to the number of their new number of employees in Eldon. And Jeff, as you answer this, also just tell us a little bit about what you guys look for in employees when you're recruiting.
Yeah, sure. So, we're in that massive growth mode right now. You mentioned, Freeburg, population 437. We love our setting here in Freeburg, but our Quaker family here in Freeburg is a little over 1,000 strong. Eldon right now, we're flirting with that 100 number, but we're still in massive growth mode over there. We grew quite a bit here in Freeburg and tapped the labor pools all around here. We continue to tap those pools. We're still trying to grow as much as we can here, but we're also focusing a lot of growth now over there in Eldon. So regarding the roles that we're looking for, obviously, manufacturing is hot and heavy, all kinds of opportunity there. But with the growth that we're anticipating, it's really across the board. All the different functions it takes to run a business this size, and looking ahead over the next 5 years where we want to be, those opportunities will continue to be here for a while.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Let's go to the next question.
How many different products do you manufacture?
Okay, I think I'm going to kick this one back over to Gavin. Gavin, we said pet food, but that's a lot of products, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of products. So we actually manufacture 97 different recipes here for breed specific, for health specific, all around the science of the animal. So one thing about Royal Canin is that everything about the product is based on the DNA and the specific dog. So for example, the compression of the dog's jaws, and the density of the kibble, the shape of the kibble for the teeth size of the dog, the digestion of the specific dog has a specific recipe. So very complex. When you think of pet food manufacturing, you would never think of the amount of ingredients and complexity that goes into making and designing this product. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Gavin. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Is it safe?
I think that young man wants to know if it's safe. And we have a company here, Alan, is with Cohen Architectural Woodworking. As you can imagine, there are some saws and things there. Alan, what can you say about safety?
Yeah, safety is a big deal, guys. I tell you, we talk about we want to send our folks home safe at the end of the day with every limb they came with, and because there's opportunities. We have the saw stop feature here on our table saws for anybody that's in any kind of wood or laminate manufacturing. You understand what that is. But in spite of that, we'll still get some cuts and abrasions, but it's a big deal. Anybody we bring on board, they don't touch any equipment. We get guys in here, oh yeah, I know how to run this, and I know how to run that, but they don't touch it until they get extensive training and the proper procedure and the proper way to handle it. So we make safety a big deal. At one time we had up to 500 and some days accident free. And so, yeah, you can't focus enough on safety. My kind of motto is there's no such thing as an accident. Somebody makes a mistake, somebody doesn't follow a process and a procedure, and then in the event somebody gets hurt. So yeah, safety is number one.
And that's shared by all the manufacturers, the ones that I deal with anyway. Everybody has that at top of mind because their employees are so important. And something about that, you didn't say much about that saw stop feature, but I've got to tell you, let's put it this way. If you pushed a hot dog up toward that saw, it would shut off before it could cut that hot dog. I mean, that's how remarkable that technology is that's used in that. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Hey, Rick, we got somebody that sent me a chat. We have a question that says, what are some of the main challenges for women working in manufacturing today?
Okay, well, let's kick that first over to Sasha, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
All right. I would say there's a lot more women in manufacturing than there used to be. I would say for any woman maybe trying to juggle, your family life and a full-time job would be hard, but this place, there's so many roles that women can work in these days. That's probably not a struggle having to work here. They've got roles probably up in St. Charles that you can sit down at a desk, but these ones, you're out on the floor, you're interacting with people. We actually have a women's group, so we actually Skype call and connect with other women in the business just to kind of see where they're at and seeing the struggles they're going through. But really, this is a good place to work. So I don't know if I answered that right, but.
Yeah, I mean, there's obvious challenges. Jeff, if you could just quickly, I mean, you're involved in the HR and, like you said, the talent manager. Are there things that you do to try to help recruit more women into the workforce?
Really what we've been able to do is break down every role, every position to a level of, where it's pretty much male or female. Now, there are some roles that just naturally seem to be maybe more male-oriented or more female-oriented, but in my mind, that's on us to break these roles down, simplify them, lean them out as much as possible to where just about anybody can do any role. That's kind of the goal for us. And that helps us be a lot more flexible with placement and finding good fits for our folks. We for the right person, somebody with, I always look at good attitude, good work ethic. Those are kind of top of my list. And then if they've got those things, then most time we can find a good fit for folks.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Hey, Ray, let's roll the next two questions together, if you don't mind.
What is manufacturing?
How does manufacturing and STEM relate?
So one question was, what is manufacturing? The other one was basically, how does it relate to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math? And Russ, I'm going to kick that over to you. I think you can handle both of those.
What manufacturing is essentially making things, and in general, so what you're doing is you start with some sort of a raw material, whether that's gravel or coal or metal bits or electronics, and you're assembling those into a new thing that has additional value beyond the things that you started with. So if you start with wood and you cut that into shapes and glue it together with fasteners, you've made a new thing out of it. You've made a cabinet, or you've made a machine that makes computer chips, or you've taken solvents like the alcohol that they were talking about with the hand sanitizer and added glycerin and filtering and purity, and you've made a new product out of it. So that's what manufacturing is, as opposed to a service industry where what you do is you provide a service for someone. So people talk about the service industry. So you think about like a doctor or a lawyer or a plumber or even a truck driver. That's a service type industry. Manufacturing is where you actually create a tangible thing that you can hold in your hand, and then that becomes something that's available for others to use for their own purposes. So that was the first question, and now I've completely forgotten the second question. So Rick, can you remind me?
It's how does manufacturing relate to STEM?
Oh, well, how it relates to STEM comes right down to how all those operations are done. So when you think about mathematics, engineering, science, technology, those all go into these things. I mentioned taking gravel or coal or wood or metal or any of those things and building them into something else. You can't just guess and put those things in a bucket and shake them and a product comes out. There has to be a reason why a particular piece of wood is used, or a particular shape is used, or why you use a particular adhesive, or why you weld versus bolt versus glue versus fold or rivet to assemble something into something. If your product involves electronics, there's programming and software and testing. There's record keeping to make sure that somebody actually tested the raw materials before they went into the product. There's math, there's algebra. It's not all giant hard math like calculus. Some of it is just simply being able to add up numbers and remember that I was supposed to put 10 parts in this thing. I've got 5. I added 2 more this morning, and I still have a few left to do to install this afternoon to make that product. There's a lot of engineering that, of course, goes into products, but it's not all calculus and trigonometry. But having some sense of how mathematics work, what goes into a product, the engineering just in terms of what makes things work versus what things won't work. That's why you don't see hammers completely made out of feathers. They're made out of metal bits because the engineering says you need something hard and tough on the end of it. There's places for STEM in all of that, and manufacturing in general, the STEM, the science, the technology, the engineering, and the mathematics that go into that do not have to come from college. You can do a lot with self-learning, and even and trade school education can bring you all of the STEM knowledge that you need to be very successful in manufacturing industries.
Okay, thank you, Russ. And I want to thank all of our panelists for being with us today and taking time out of busy days for them. Tom Brown with Brewer Science, Russ Pagel with Cost Effective Equipment, Sasha Stratman and Gavin Keever with Royal Canin, Alan Redburn with Cohen Architectural Woodworking, and Jeff Heisler with Quaker Windows. And so I'll turn it back over to Brewer Science.
Accounts Payable Supervisor.
Hi, how are you doing today? My name is Ray Cook, and I am a network administrator at Brewer Science.
All right, my name's Caleb, and I work as the quality control supervisor here at Brewer, and I am in charge of the QC lab at Vichy. And we test different materials that we produce here for ions, for percent water, so we have to use instrumentation in order to test these products, and that's the gist of what I do here.
Hi, my name is Betty. I'm an Executive Administrative Specialist at Brewer Science.
My name is Caleb Liegi. I'm a process engineer at Brewer Science. I work on the manufacturing team, and basically I'm the bridge between the engineering side of things and the manufacturing and production. So we work with the equipment and the product to make sure everything runs smoothly and continuously improve it.
Hello, my name is Seth John. I work as a controls engineer for Brewer Science. I work for the manufacturing team, and I do electrical work and computer programming for them.
Hi, my name is Glenn Gibson. I'm a hazardous material handler out at the Vichy plant, and my main priority is to support the manufacturing of the product that we make. I handle all the chemicals and the materials that they need to make the product, and without getting that stuff there, then we don't have anything to make it with. I do a little bit of other jobs as well, but my main job is to support the manufacturing of our product.
Ryan Sims, System Administrator.
Hello, my name is Shalina Doss, and I'm the Talent Acquisition and Retention Manager at Brewer Science.
Hello, my name is Sarah Sego, and I am the Global Payroll Analyst for Brewer Science.
I'm Julie Ply. I am Director of Quality Materials at Brewer Science, and I am responsible for supplier quality development, quality engineering, and quality control.
Hello, my name is Kirk Emery. I work for Brewer Science. I am the Order Fulfillment Planning Manager. My job is to make sure our customers get what they order when they order it on time. Our piece of the supply chain is to work with our inventory folks and our manufacturing folks to make sure that we have enough time to order our raw materials, and so that we have them so that we can manufacture them when we need them to get them to our customer in the lead time that they ask for. That sounds pretty simple, and it is, except for all of our raw materials and our products have a shelf life. So we have to do this as real time as possible. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it works not so well. But we do the best we can. We use a lot of historical data, and we use a lot of forecasts from our customers to try to make sure that we maintain optimal inventory of what we have in raw materials and also in what we manufacture as far as like sub-assemblies or intermediates in the manufacturing process. I hope this helps, and thanks for attending the Manufacturing Day.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Ash, and I'm a Senior Quality Engineer.
Hi, I'm Phil McGee. I'm the Facilities Manager here at Brewer Science.
Hello, I'm Brian Davis. I'm a Senior Engineering Technician for the TKO team.
Hello, my name is Scott. I'm a Senior Manufacturing Technician, and I work with wafer level packaging.
Hello, my name is Mark. I'm the Manufacturing Team Lead for the team that makes wafer level packaging materials.
Good morning. My name is Mike Bassett, and I am the Facilities Project Manager here at Brewer Science. I take care of the facilities capital projects and work with facilities, maintenance, and manufacturing teams also.
Thank you for participating. Thank you.
Thank you. Paisley, say get over here.
No.
Okay, Paisley, say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Wow, thank you everyone for participating with us. We appreciate all of the input and the questions and the knowledge that was shared today. I hope you have a great takeaway. I know that I have enjoyed meeting all the manufacturers and learning so much about them, learning how to pivot in difficult times, start making hand sanitizer, start sewing masks, the things that you do during a pandemic, the things that you do on a daily basis when you're manufacturing, moving forward, but checking where you go, stopping, seeing what you need to re-innovate, and moving forward. Same thing we're doing with every day in our lives. This year has been a challenging year for sure. Glad you could share this with us. Have a great day.